Okay, this afternoon we're back working on this little Briggs and Stratton Model Y engine. Of course, it was missing a fuel tank, and the fuel tank is actually part of the carburetor or mixer system. These mixers or carburetors don't have any fuel bowl on them, so there's a check valve that goes inside of the tank, and when the engine draws fuel up, it draws fuel up into this tube, and this check valve holds it there until the next cycle it draws more fuel in. You can buy these check valves, but they're kind of expensive. I have more fun making them. This is just a 3/16 brake line, and you can thread both ends of this 1032 threads, as well as tap this fitting and tap this fitting 1032. Inside of here there's a little 1/8 inch steel ball that goes into a seat, and when it draws fuel up, it pulls that ball off the seat, and then the ball seats again and holds the fuel in this tube. And that's all a check valve, or all they are. Pretty simple. Got a 1/16 inch hole here, and I cut a little slot in there, so if this sets on the bottom of the fuel tank, it can still get fuel up through there. These fittings are all custom made out of just brass stock. Normally this would have a compression type fitting on it, but I didn't have any of this tubing on hand or the compression fitting, so I thought, well, I'll just use some of this weed eater fuel line, which is clear, so you can see the fuel in the line when it's running. They're kind of a fun project to make anyway. These fuel tanks, it's kind of a hillbilly setup, but they work okay. You just can't go out and buy a little fuel tank like this. I start out with a piece of sheet metal, cut out the circle of the top and the bottom of the tank, and I just use a couple blocks of wood and clamp them in a vise, and fold this over with a ball peen hammer all the way around. That makes the top and the bottom. Then for the sides, I've got this little sheet metal roller. I don't know what it was made for or anything about it, but it works real well. I think it's a factory made outfit. It's got gears on the ends of the rollers, and you can adjust the rollers for whatever diameter you want to roll. So I cut out a piece of sheet metal the correct width, put them in that roller, turn the crank, makes a real nice circle or radius on for the sides. I'm going to solder in a 1/8 inch pipe fitting here, and I make these fittings here out of some 3/4 inch copper tubing, and put a thread on it and thread a piece of 3/4 inch black pipe to match these threads. And these are 8 threads per inch. But normally this is off of another tank, and it's got the sweat type, or not sweat type, compression type fittings. It would go on to this, something like that, and then hook to the engine. This will work out just fine this way. The fitting up here was this fitting here. It had the compression type. And this is a 5/16 24, just a standard fine thread 5/16 bolt. So I made this fitting to fit into the mixer. It should work out okay. we'll see what happens here in a day or two. We'll get everything put together and see if it'll run. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions or comments, add them below. That's all for today.